Hello and welcome to Backstage with Gig Performer. My name is Brett Pontecorvo, and we are here every Thursday chatting with professionals, hobbyists, semi-pros, and really anybody who is just making music in real time, all about how they use Gig Performer to power their live performances. Today, we're going to have an amazing stream. I'm really looking forward to chatting. However, if you are in the stream right now, do say hello. Let us know where you are tuning in from. I can already see we've got Thomas Bishop in the stream, regular attender, and I should probably know at this point where you're tuning in from, but I cannot remember. We've got Carl Lutzbase from Bavaria. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We've got, let's see, Silborn enjoying these videos, tuning in from Belize. Gig Performer team member Nemanja, thanks for being here. We've got another one from the Netherlands. Eric, thanks for being here, Eric. Happy to see you. Johnny Roberts from Philadelphia. And of course, Dave Bolden as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to have a great episode today, and we're going to be talking with our special guest, Eddie Meulmeester, which he can correct my pronunciation. I can see him laughing backstage. That's okay. But Eddie is a keyboardist and gig performer, power user, playing with a dark wave band called La Lune Noire. So he's doing some really cool stuff with double keyboards, as you can see from the video here, and band helper, all running on a Windows computer. So if you're using Windows, or you're using band helper, or you're into dark wave, or you're just into gig performer, which is probably why you're here, this is going to be a great episode for you. And it looks like we also have right now one of Eddie's bandmates. So we've got the full band here in the comments. I love it. All right. Well, without further ado, I want to bring on to Backstage with Gig Performer special guest, Eddie. Welcome to Backstage, Eddie. How's it going there?
Thank you. I'm all right.
Good, good. I'm sorry for damaging your last name.
No problem.
So for folks who don't know who you are, I know I've just talked about your band, La Lune Noire. Can you just tell us a little bit about your musical background and how we ended up getting connected and how we're here?
Yes, of course.
Yep.
Well, I always had keys in my life from the very beginning to ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Victor, and Victor always played in dance, and he was playing with Sven. That's the one that last committed to this show.
Yes.
And they formed a band, Le Noir. And when they began, I visited some shows of them. And after three shows, I became their roadie. So still very interested in music, but I couldn't play very well. I went to the old shows, and just a year, I think, before the pandemic, they asked me to join their side project. The side project was Our Darkness, like 1 hour of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor wrote mashup songs. So we began to, you hear the music of The Cure, and we sing Kim Wilde and so on. And after a year or so, they asked me to join on stage. And that was the beginning of my keyboard career, let's say.
Wow.
Just before the pandemic, we had, I think, 4 shows with Our Darkness. And after the pandemic, when it got open all the way, I could we would have a show with Our Darkness, but it was cancelled. And after that, the guys asked me to join Le Noir also. So since then, since after the pandemic, I am playing with Le Noir.
Wow. So you grew up playing piano?
No.
Okay.
No. Just a little keyboard, or I had once an organ.
Okay.
If you plugged it in, it would you hear a fan blowing,
Okay.
and you can play some notes. No, no, no.
Okay. Okay, cool. So it sounds like you kind of came at this from like you were always interested in music and then you had some projects present themselves. So you, I'm assuming, actually had to do a ton of work to get to a place where you could play.
Yes, sure. Yeah, yeah. The guys introduced me with the VST. I didn't know what it was.
Yep.
I began to play with a Synthmaster 3 player, and that was the beginning of my VST career.
Wow.
After that, I tried Ableton Lite,
Hmm.
but it didn't work for me. It wasn't reliable, and after some shows, some years, um, I read about gigperformer, and uh, we bought it. I tried it for 2 weeks, the free version, and we decided to bought it. So I started to build up our songs half 24 last year, and began to play live beginning this year in January.
Wow. That's a pretty massive accomplishment. I don't think I
Thank you.
realized how quickly you 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 know you if for
I'm
folks
fresh.
say that again.
I'm fresh.
Yes, yes. Well, for even for folks who have experience with playing, like if you are brand new to playing in a band and then you add on top of that building sounds and then you add on top of that should I use Ableton or Gig Performer? I mean, that's a lot of learning in a very, very short period of time. That's incredible. I didn't realize that.
Thank you.
For folks who don't know what dark wave is, can you give us some parameters around your genre of music?
Now, some say dark wave isn't a genre. Well, okay, let it be. Dark wave, I think it's a melancholic way of new wave,
Okay.
with not the brightest view on the world,
Mm-hmm.
uh, highlighting the sad things that happen in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that in our lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I think that's the meaning of the dark part of the dark wave.
Got it. Got it. I love that. Now, we were talking a bit earlier. Oftentimes with gig performer setups in general, they're very much birthed out of a necessity. And you were, if I'm understanding correctly, not the first keyboardist of La Lune Noire. Somebody else was playing, or they just didn't have a keyboard player.
No, they didn't have a keyboard player.
Got it.
Victor and Sven. Victor is the singer and the guitarist, and he writes the songs. He composed the songs with Cubase,
Mm-hmm.
and when they were live, it was Victor on guitar and singing, and Sven did the drums. Um, and after some parts, some years, people of Victor and Sven thought, well, it needs a keyboardist.
Got it. So was he using tracks at all that he composed in Cubase, or it was just guitar and
Yeah,
drums? He was.
no, it was, yeah, the tracks, and I needed some time to learn all the music he was playing, and get the right VSTs, of course, because I want to start that the music sound as it is mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So that took me some time, and after some time, we decided to mute some of the tracks that Victor wrote in Cubase and make that the live version. So we play a backtrack with some of the synths, and I fill it up with the synths which I can play.
Got it. Okay. So you were coming into keyboard parts that were already written and sounds that were already designed. And so the
Yeah,
challenge for you, I assume, was figuring out how to best set them up to
yeah,
physically play.
yeah, that's great.
Um, Now you mentioned you were using Ableton. Did Ableton ever make it on stage with you?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. Yeah,
And what were
and
the
it
things
fails
that got?
sometimes.
Say that again.
it failed sometimes.
Yes, yeah, yeah. What were some of the things that got you hung up in Ableton that made you want to look for an alternative?
Um, the way you have to build up a set list. Uh, you have to almost rewrite uh, everything in Ableton to make it in a good order. And I think now gigperformer, I understand gigperformer way better than I understand Ableton.
Hmm.
Um, it's more intuitive. Um, it's more clear for me.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think to some degree, it's just made to do the sounds to set lists in a intuitive way.
Yeah,
Whereas with Ableton you can do it, but you very much have to think through how you're going to do it, and if you change the order of your set list, you kind of bump into another hump of challenges.
yeah,
Okay,
true.
so we're coming in. You've got some synth sounds programmed. What was it like for you as you started moving things into Gig Performer? Did you have a process that you kind of wanted to stick to, or were you very much experimenting until you found something that worked?
Now, in the 2 week free trial I used, already had two songs programmed in gigperformer,
Okay.
and now I know it. I could have done it in a much more easier way, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have a list of all the presets we use. I can play,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a way of building up the rec spaces per song, and well, it went well. Um, After some time, I discovered a download rec space with the gain blocks that you can see now,
Oh
and
wait, should I
that
put
made
that on
it.
the screen?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
do it please.
There we go. Okay, so you discovered this rack space.
Yes, it's all a bit different. The viewers must know that this is just uh, for this broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can see if I see. Did you see the wrong computer? Sorry.
Yes, yes, double computers.
Yes, the panel view. It was the download I originally got
Okay.
uh, with 6 meters, but I deleted three because I have three keyboards, two keyboards, and one is split. And I put it in the wiring screen uh, to help me uh, assign the gain meters to three knobs on my keyboard, so I could adjust the volume of those sounds.
Yes.
And from then on, I went further.
Yes. I love that you started with something that you were able to download. I mean, it's the
Yeah,
fastest way to get from nowhere to somewhere. You find something
yeah,
that you're like, I could probably use that or modify it, and then you're off to the races. So, did you
yeah.
just like this because it had the three? Was that sort of the magic number for you?
No, no. You mean the three keyboards?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, when I started, I had only the small keyboard, the 49 keys,
Got it.
and I split it in SynthMaster Free Player, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked. But when you practice a lot, you become better in playing.
Yep.
And I decided I can add another keyboard to it uh, to make me more flexible
Mm-hmm.
and to play more parts,
Yes.
because that was my goal, to play more parts.
Got it.
So then I needed three keyboards.
Got it. Got it. Okay, awesome. So, can you show us how this evolved? Like, what are you working with now? I realize that probably means you have to switch. Files, man.
No problem, no problem. I'm gonna stand up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what you see here is a template I made. This template, I will put it up a bit. This template,
Wait, which are you talking about? What's on the Gig Performer screen right now, or which template?
that's the one. Yes,
Okay,
yes, that's my standard template.
okay,
From then on, I make a song.
got it.
Well, you see, the seed master. That's a problem I had.
Yep,
The last update of Gig Performer was included the synth master version,
yep,
but I already had an old one in SVST.
got it.
And after the update, both didn't work.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I mentioned on the forum. You
Got it,
have to
got it,
install the synth master version you had before you do the update.
got it.
Well, what I do is I replace the plugin,
Yep,
save the video. I use this one. I'm doing this like I am in a Gary Newman tribute band. I'm not, but
but you could be.
I wish.
Maybe that'll be your
I
next
wish.
side project.
I wish. I choose a sound, and then maybe
Yeah,
you can
I
hear the
can see
sound.
audio flowing, but is
Yeah,
this the rack
true.
space with the listen to on it?
Listen to.
It
Yeah,
is.
it
Okay,
is.
let me see why I'm not hearing that. Hold on.
Otherwise, it's no problem working.
Play one more time. Oh, it's an inactive link. I don't know if you want to toggle to the global rack space. It looks like maybe it got disconnected. Oh, no, it's there. Just copy it and paste it to me one more time, and then I'll hook it up. That way we can hear you. Okay, got it. Perfect. Okay, I'm sure I will be able to hear you now. Do you want to play that sound? There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Perfect. So you just go in there and you swap out a VST of your choosing.
True.
And that, it looks to me like, so you've got oxygen left, oxygen right, and then oxygen 49.
Yes, this is the oxygen, the 61 keys.
Got it?
And left, the L is for left.
Yep.
So that's a split keyboard. You can see I use these keys.
Yep.
This one. It's the same for the R, the right side of the keyboard.
Got it. And do you try and just
49
stick to those key splits? Like, do you try and just keep it consistent between songs?
Yeah, I have some songs that need to be then the 61 left has to be larger, more keys. So I can do that easily. Per rack space, you can change it, but mostly they are the same at every song.
Got it. And what does working from a template give you the ability, or why do you work from a template rather than starting from scratch every time?
Because I have to connect all the wires every time. I have to do everything over. And with this template, I easily replace the plugin and rename this gig file. And then I'll save it as a song from out of the setlist view.
Yep. So it just saves you a ton of time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
which is amazing. I generally work from templates as well, but I always like to ask, what people's workflow is. Um, okay, this is great. So once this happens, you've kind of built your song here, and you would do this anytime you have to add something new.
Yeah.
What's the next step in your process for
Okay.
what happens next?
Well, let's say I had replaced this VSTs.
Yep.
Um, I'm renaming this workspace. Let's say the song is, well, uh, I'll stick to Gary Newman.
Yes, perfect.
I'll rename the the variation companies. Um, one slash and further on.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this here.
Yep.
Well, I misspelled it, but there's no problem. After that, I'll export
Mm.
the selected workspace. I'll rename it to, it already has the name bars. And this is what I do, I think double. Then I go to set this. I'll make a new song. Create new song. Of course. Bars. And you can see I have 3 song parts, but
Yep.
I only need one in this particular case. So I'll delete. Oh, sorry. Okay. And I'll assign part 1. You can call it another, you can recall it. But I connect this by click assign workspace variation. And I choose this one. It's the only one.
Yep.
Okay. File. Export selected song.
Got it.
And then I'll name it on a proper way. I can't find the right map. And I'll rename it.
Yep.
That's my way.
Wow. So the way that you're working, you essentially have a copy, not just of the rack space, but then of the song, and I assume what this does is gives you the ability to create as many gig files as you want very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
which is actually very creative. I hadn't actually thought through that type of a workflow before, but it gives you some flexibility because you've broken down your parts into the smallest pieces.
Yeah, that's true. And
Um,
I know I can reuse a rack space when you build up, let's say 20 rack spaces, you can make one song use the same rack space and another song also. But I didn't choose in the beginning to do that way. I didn't know it.
mm-hmm.
So this is my way of doing it, but maybe not the most efficient way.
We talk to folks always who are folks that are actually doing something with Gig Performer. And so many times we hear people say, maybe this isn't the best way of doing it. But, I just think it's funny to point out because ultimately, at the end of the day, what people really care about is did they get the song set up in such a way that they can play it?
Yeah.
And if it's working, for you to play the song, then to some extent the workflow itself becomes not the point, right? It's
No.
which
Sure.
is kind of awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's how you've done this process, and you have 3 sounds by default. How do you handle it if you have a song that has 6 sounds or 8 sounds? Do you add more splits, or do you do multiple rack spaces, or does it
No,
depend?
it's multiple rack spaces. I have with the Noir, I have 2 songs with multiple rack spaces. With Our Darkness, if I would play Our Darkness, our side project in gigperformer, I never did it because I changed after that. But that was very difficult. Some songs had 7 needed 7 rack spaces.
Got it. Wow.
So well, but that works.
Mhm.
When one song has to change in the flow of the song, I will choose another rack space.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Cool. So, at what point, I know Band Helper for you has been a pretty essential tool. At what point did Band Helper come on the scene for you? Was it early on or?
Well, we used Bench Helper from the beginning,
Mhm.
um, from the beginning of La Noire, I think, maybe after, but I always used Bench Helper. Um, and I knew really was possible in Bench Helper. And I wanted Gig Performer to change the song when I changed it in Band Helper, or the other way around.
Yeah.
And then I was searching for it, and I found an article on the Gig Performer forum that made me interested in this thing, and it works for
Hmm.
me.
Hmm. That article, by the way, is currently in the description. So if you would like to read it,
Yes,
wait until the end of the stream and then go read the article. But it's actually written by a former backstage guest, Ray Myers, who uses it as well. Was there a particular reason you chose Band Helper over any of the other solutions?
no, that was chosen by the band.
Got it.
Uh, Victor and Sven were already using a band helper. And I think our guitarist who joined the band later on, Paul, is also using band helper. Um, yeah, it was chosen for me.
Got it. Okay. Fantastic. Can you show us your how it works?
Yeah,
I know you that may mean you have to open your other setup, but
no problem, no problem, no problem.
yeah.
Well, I can't show you exactly how I managed to do it
Mhm.
because I forgot a bit. I have a manual from Gitperform forum to do it. Um,
I'm not sure. Nev71. I can't remember which band mate this was, but just wrote in, I'm a band helper user and I infected Eddie.
well, thank you very much. You did.
But
It's
as I
changing.
understand, one of the things that I guess what you're about to demonstrate here that is nice about Band Helper is it does help keep everything in sync. Okay,
Yes,
let me put this
true.
on the screen here. All right, so what are we looking at?
Okay. You see here one song of Le Noir,
Hmm.
and this song has 4 X spaces, by the way.
Okay.
Um, Same song is on bench helper. You can't see bench helper well, maybe a bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, this is my tablet with bench helper, and I have a foot switch to turn the pages of bench helper.
Hmm.
So like this, I'm going to do it this way. You always see that's a problem. Um, please,
Sure.
I have to. I think I have to connect this um, the laptop with.
So, is this running generally with the a wire? Is it a wire connection or is it
No,
it is
I have I have a little router, a Wi-Fi router, and gigperformer is connected. The laptop with gigperformer is now connected to that network, and I hope now the tablet is also connected to the same network.
All right, let's see.
Because that's what's this problem. Okay, let's try. Okay, now this is working now. Yes. Well, I don't know why it isn't running.
Hopefully that doesn't happen on stage.
No, I think it's because I made a copy of my general gig file, and maybe that's the problem. I don't know
could be.
right now.
It could be. So,
Okay, let me explain it.
Yes.
When I use the page turner,
Yep.
who works with Bluetooth, I change the song on my tablet. Then the song in gigperformer also changes in the right song, which I choose.
Yes. And when you have a song with multiple song parts, do you have multiple band helper files to accommodate
No.
that? You don't.
Now, I assigned a foot switch who is connected with the big keyboard, and that is programmed to change the rack space. So
Got
with
it.
that foot switch, I go to the next rack space, and it doesn't change the song, so only the rack space.
Got it.
And I have also assigned two knobs on my big keyboard to change a song forward or backwards.
I see. Okay, so just to help make sure I'm understanding correctly, essentially you use band helper not to change song parts, but just to change songs, and then you have a separate
Correct.
foot switch for song parts.
Correct.
And that's actually pretty clever because that gives you then a bit more detailed control. You can
Yeah,
really
it's
just
in the heat of a song, I have to change very quickly,
Mhm.
and the page turner by Bluetooth isn't suitable for it.
Yep.
The foot switch is far more faster.
Yes, yes, absolutely makes sense. And can you talk about? I'm like, do you have that picture, or do I need to pull that up? The picture of your gear. Can we talk through your hardware?
I have the picture.
Okay.
Okay, this is our last gig, and you can see here on the bottom of my stand.
Oh, I actually can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it?
It may be because you're sharing gigperformer and not your computer screen.
To
Aha, yes, I can see it. Beautiful.
Can you see the mouse?
I can see your two keyboards and your box.
You can't see my my computer mouse. Anything.
I can see your mouse. Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, you see here my Scarlett 1
Yep.
interface, audio interface. Here is my laptop. It's almost closed. It's almost folded. In the flight case, there's also a USB hub. And you can see here my portable monitor, my tablet, and my two keyboards.
Yes, I'm gonna zoom in just so I can get a better look here at just one of these
Here you
things.
are.
So okay, you don't have to do anything different, but I just want to point out because I think this is kind of a great idea. So everything goes to the gig with you in that box, right?
Yeah. Sure.
And because of that, I assume that makes actually setting up all of your gear pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've decided to put everything in one flight case, so I don't have to connect all sorts of cables. To minimize the cables, And I think it works. I did it recently, so I have to adjust some things. The case isn't 100% okay, but it'll be.
Yeah. And this setup here, when you like look at this image, it actually hides your computer,
Yeah, it
which you
does.
you like because you were mentioning it feels a bit obtrusive for you when you look back
Yeah,
at pictures and there's a big laptop in front of your
I
face.
used to have a stand with two layers,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to put a shelf on the top layer with the small keyboard and the laptop on the right side of the keyboard. And I didn't like that the laptop was in front of my face.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And with Band Helper, I guess you don't really need it.
Yeah, true,
Uh,
true. Uh, I don't have to do anything on my laptop because everything is assigned to a knob or a foot switch or to band helper.
mm-hmm. And do you have any visual feedback to make sure you know you're on the correct song part, or have you just practiced enough that it doesn't matter?
That's the portable monitor that's on the left
Ah,
on my
okay.
stand.
Let me move the zoom here. Okay, I see. Portable monitor on the left, and that's the
Yeah,
visual feedback. And you,
yeah.
so is that a touch screen?
It's not touchscreen.
Got it.
No.
Got it. But I guess it doesn't matter because everything's mapped anyway.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Um. Wow. Okay. So everything is kind of coming together, and those two pieces, the touchscreen monitor plus the Android tablet, you find much less intrusive than the laptop.
Yeah,
Is
it's a
it?
bit lower.
Got it.
Yeah,
So it's really just your ability to position it differently that.
yeah. I can. The microphone is in between those two screens, and it's smaller than a laptop.
Yep.
The stand is a bit lower than the stand I used to have,
Yep.
so it's better this way.
Yep. And I, for folks who were here at the beginning, you sent some live footage of your band playing. It really does sort of disappear when everybody's on stage, and at least from the camera angles you sent, you really don't notice. You really don't notice it the same way that you
Yeah,
would, right?
no, true.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so I'm noticing and want to talk through here. So on the left, it looks like that's your Bluetooth switcher there. Those white.
yeah.
Is that
Pet,
uh,
Pet Pro.
on the right side? Is that the other pedal, or is the other pedal board not featured in this picture?
No, it's the black
The
the
black one.
pedal on the right one. Just before the flight case, that's the foot switch.
Got it. And so that I assume just goes next, next, next.
Yeah, true.
Perfect. Okay, what is happening here? So I see your Scarlet, but then there is. It looks like there's a. Is it a DI box, or is that in ear monitors? What's to the left of that? I can see two XLRs going in. I
True.
think.
We have that was the first gig we did with in-ear monitors.
Okay.
We have I think I can show it to you. Am I allowed to show it to you?
Sure. Should I share my screen or what?
No,
What?
I got here. I think we just
Aha!
bought this. Yes, we're very proud of it, and
Nice.
that's the work of our technician Sven.
Okay.
Uh, we have a mixing station, and we are using the in-ear monitors. They are with wires now
Mhm.
because we're saving for the not wireless ones,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it costs a lot.
Yes. Uh, were you guys not using in-ear monitors
No,
earlier? You had wedges.
no, always the monitors in front of us.
Um, did
If
you
there were,
find it was a massive upgrade when you moved to in-ears?
yes, I think so. It's better for our ears
Hmm.
because me too got some problems with our ears. Um, I think they are a bit damaged. Um, yeah, I think you can adjust every level of the band members, and that's very good progress.
Mm-hmm. Uh, in-ear monitors for me was such a massive game changer. Being able to clearly hear everything that I needed to hear in order to
Yeah,
actually play was, just unbelievable step forward. So definitely
yeah,
well worthwhile. So do you also then have control over your mix while you're playing?
yes. We have an app
Okay.
that's connected to the mixing station. And while we're playing at the gig, we can adjust every level of ourselves and the others.
Yep. Massive difference. Now, are you
Yeah,
still playing with tracks? Do you have any backing tracks going with La Lune Noire?
yes. Our drummer Sven controls the backtrack, and they are still there because Victor writes the songs with so many layers. I can't play them all. I have
Yes.
too little hands and too little keyboards. So I play the dominant ones.
Yes. So the tracks right now are being triggered by the drummer. And apparently, I've got some evidence here that Nev71 is the drummer and
That's
that
correct.
his next project is to integrate tracks.
How do you know that?
I don't know. That's what he said. He commented right here. He must be reading your
Yeah,
mind. Um,
yeah, I think so too.
so what you're are you running he's running the track, so he's using a different software, I assume, to run it.
Yes, that's true. We have a license performer for two laptops,
Okay.
and he he is very focused on the mixing station at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we have talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We're gonna use the gigperformer media player
Mm-hmm.
in the future to run the backtracks.
Got it. And I know you
Uh,
haven't started this yet, but is your plan to have those tracks on your setup, or is he just going to have a separate instance of Gig Performer he uses to trigger?
yeah, it's gonna be on his instance of gigperformer,
Mm-hmm.
and our plan and our goal is to use the markers that you can program in the media player
Mm-hmm.
um, to change rec spaces and songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit future thinking, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, but very approachable in the streaming audio file player with actions to have some MIDI messages go out at certain markers, and it
Yeah,
would very much flow nicely. I think control whatever it is that you want to control,
yeah,
which is really awesome. And I'm glad
yeah,
you've got the drummer on there. And so you guys are also using lights. The reason I know that is because uh, your your drummer's telling me all of your other tech gear. So he's also using a DMX software with nice MIDI integration. So
yeah,
in that case, you could even use Gig Performer to drive your DMX software. We'll see.
yeah.
Um,
We'll see.
but that's pretty fun. Okay,
Yeah,
let's talk a little bit about Windows computers. You're not only a Windows computer user, you're also using an Android tablet.
yeah.
Why are you on Windows? Were you just a Windows guy and you got Gig Performer and you're like, great, Gig Performer runs on Windows? Or is there a reason that you're on Windows that's separate from that?
Well, that's a big of a fight between Sven and me.
Okay, okay,
Sven is a real Apple user,
okay.
and I use an iPhone for my work,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very used to Android, and Android is more my thing.
Yes.
So I chose an Android tablet, um, and Windows. Well, no particular reason, but I never had an Apple computer, and they are a bit expensive. Um, so I always had Windows, and I know more about Windows than of Apple.
Yep.
So it's not a particular choice. Although the phones, I'd rather have an Android than an iPhone.
Yep. Yep. Makes sense. The more that we talk with folks, I hear the same thing, right? Like I've always used Windows computers. I know more about Windows. And Gig Performer runs beautifully on Windows, as you can well see. So if you're a Windows user and you want to use Gig Performer, there's no reason to upgrade. And in many cases, you don't even need to upgrade your operating system. I can't remember
So
how far back we go. We maybe go all the way back to Windows 7. I'm guessing there. Somebody will tech check me on that if I'm wrong, but it goes quite a way back, um, which is really
and
nice.
I did also did there's an article about optimizing your Windows computer.
Yes.
So I used that also. I did a whole book. Well, not everything because some things are going very deep in the system, but
Mhm.
yeah, most of it works.
Yep.
Yes,
And do you use a dedicated laptop, or is this
yes.
you do? Okay.
I I I I I don't want to install any other programs. I had to install Zoom because of this.
Yes. Right. Yes.
But I'd rather not. It's a dedicated laptop.
Yep. Nemanja just confirmed that we do support all the way back to Windows 7. So if
Nice.
you have an old Windows computer, Gig Performer will absolutely run on it, which is a nice
Yeah,
nice addition.
yeah,
I did lose my train of thought though when I saw that comment come in. So got to be careful about that.
yeah,
That's okay though. So you're on the Windows and you're really liking it. You're using the
yeah,
Scarlet interface,
yeah.
which has
Recently
also
bought.
been good for you.
Yeah, I had a very. I'm using when I practice at home. I use a Behringer interface. It's a very cheap one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we recently bought two Focus Scarlett Focusrite one for our singer and for me.
Okay. And you're enjoying them. You're happy with the hardware.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
It's more it's better. I think it's better.
Okay. I love it. Can we talk about? Did we miss any of your hardware? Because I want to go back to talking about your songs a little bit, but I don't want to miss any pieces if we.
No, I think we covered it all.
Okay, cool. So, can you show us a typical flow of one of your songs in Gig Performer? Maybe open one of the songs that you guys are playing and show us what's in there and maybe some of the things you used to build it.
Okay. I think I have to dedicate the performance to Sharon Bart. Yeah. Yes.
Perfect.
So
Is this a good one to talk through, or is there a different song you'd rather look at?
I think it's a perfect one. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is a song we play almost every gig.
Okay.
Um, it's for Rex Space's song. Um, I it's, it's you could see the setup that I showed you earlier on.
Yep.
And recently I added the global workspace to it. That's the
The bottom there.
lower
Yep.
part. The lower part. Um, I missed a control for the global volume,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed it, and I found this knob that could control those volumes.
Mm-hmm.
I can control the volumes per keyboard. That's you can see here
Yep.
the yellow one. So if necessary, I can control them. And the red controls that are the ones. Well, if you open a VST and you are going to use a sound, not every sound is every high on the volume as another one.
Right.
So I don't control those red knobs during a gig. Um, that's programmed as the best way of the volume.
Yes. Yes.
On the yeah, sorry, you had
No,
another
keep
question?
going. Keep going.
Okay. I added two knobs in the global workspace
Okay.
because I use Chord Pro and I have assigned a knob to it. You can see here
Oh, I
the
actually
corpo?
can't, but I can see it on Zoom. Let
Oh,
me zoom out.
okay.
Okay, I can see it now. You're good. You're
Yeah.
good.
Okay. I can put it on. I put it on.
Oh. Okay, I
And
understand that was now. Can you put the Cord Pro back on?
yeah.
So when I was looking at the screenshots of
Setup.
your hardware rig, I was trying to
Mhm.
figure out what on earth is on the right hand side of your screen. I couldn't figure out what it was. So this is what you're using to remember splits or remember chord voicings.
It's we call it a speakbriefje. Uh, when when I'm distracted or something, this is my way to find back where I am. I can't read notes.
Yep.
You can see here that I have some chords in way of a picture.
Mm-hmm.
I can't read notes. I never learned them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I regret it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my way to get back to the song. This is
Yes.
my help.
Yes.
Um, and in every song, it's very different. It's my way of recognizing where I am.
Got it.
And it's on top, and you can see the knobs of the volume are a bit hidden now, so I can change the size of the screen of gigperformer by the other knob. Oh, it's not correctly on the good side, but mostly it is here. Now, in the good file, it is better. The global rackspace is higher,
Yes.
but I can do that with one switch on my keyboard.
Oh yeah, it's really helpful. That way you can actually see exactly what it is you need to see at any given
Yeah,
point in time.
yeah, yeah. No need to use the laptop.
Mhm.
All on the keyboards.
Yep. Okay. That's fantastic. So what can you give us just an idea of what sounds are in this rack space? Can
Yes,
give a 10-second sample?
a 10-second sample. I found you fooled me. I'm I find it always very difficult to play out of the blue. I'll try, but it won't be 10 seconds, I think.
It's okay. You know what? Actually, I'm realizing for some reason Listen To got disconnected again. Um
Again,
which is kind of, I don't really understand why that is. Um Even when I reload it, it's not uh
I, I think I have. Yeah, this is the one with the listen to these.
or it looks to me like the problem is just it has to be you have to go back to the global rack space and turn it on again. And while you're doing that, Nemanja has written in, did you use Gig Performer in the studio for your latest album? Or
No, no,
okay.
no. That was all Cubase. We uh, we mix our songs. We do it ourselves by Sphinx Records. So it's Sven's part along with Victor. No, we don't use Gig Performer for our albums.
Um so you basically you host your VSTs in Cubase and play directly into Cubase.
Yes,
Got it.
yes.
Okay. All right. Do you want to send me one more stream link?
Check.
Never had the disconnect happen before. It's kind of it's a new feature. Must be anyway.
So it's a long way from the Netherlands to America.
That is true. All right, let me open that up. Okay, well there we go. I see that, and I'll give it a moment to load. There we go. Okay, I should be able to hear you now.
Right?
Go for it. Oh yeah, can hear you clear as
Yes,
day.
I can use. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to help myself a bit. Maybe one more second.
Yep. Wow. You guys have awesome sounds.
Thank you.
What VSTs are you using for those? Is that all in SynthMaster, or have you
No,
branched out?
this should be the one.
Omnisphere, Predator, and Omnisphere.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the one.
Wow.
Yeah,
Truly fantastic.
thank you.
And that's quite a range of sound coming from just 3 VSTs
Yeah.
in one 10-second sample. So it's pretty it's pretty
Thank
cool.
you.
Folks who are watching, we're about in an hour. So if you have any questions for Eddie about his workflow, about any of the things, band helper, or how he builds stuff, do go ahead and pop those things in the comments. He'd be able to definitely answer those things for you live, and it would be pretty
Yeah,
cool. Okay,
yeah.
I have a couple. Well, maybe I guess I have 2 more questions. So you didn't grow up reading music, and you're like, oh, I've created some systems for myself to not get lost in the song, which I love so much. Because we're kind of in an age where anyone can make music.
Yeah.
We don't. There are lots of ways to arrive at the output, and listeners are going to hear what they hear, not the method in which you're getting to
No.
your notes, which is kind of a unique thing. Um, what as a keyboard player, kind of coming from not a traditional training background, what do you feel like? Do you feel when you're on stage with your friends that you're thinking differently with them? And aside from writing out chords in your images, are there any other things that you do either during practice or when you're on stage to help you feel confident and also help you feel really locked in with your band members?
Well, I had to go. I have to come from a long way because no reading notes. That made it some difficult.
Hmm.
I have problem with um, come up with chords instantly.
Yep.
I can't. I simply can't. So I have to memorize them,
Hmm.
um, and that's the whole thing. I have all the songs in my head, a part of the Chord Pro file. Um, and I practice a lot. I think I practice about 5 hours a week.
Wow.
Um, and I try to play the whole set list we have, um, uh, just to be reassured at stage. I know the first time I got on stage, I was so terrified.
Hmm.
Um, and but the practice helps me. I can play with the song. You could see I need some background, some backtrack
Hmm.
to get me going, but then it comes from itself,
Hmm.
and that's because I practice a lot.
Yes.
Um, and Kick Performer makes it easier to see what you're doing. Uh, Compared to Ableton, the view is much smaller. You have to use your glasses. Well, I have them.
Yes.
Uh, and Kick Performer is more in your face. It works for me.
Yes. Um, What's fascinating to me hearing you kind of break that down is your answer seems to be about the same as even folks who do read music,
Okay.
who have a lot of experience, which is something to the effect of like, I practice a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just really fascinating. And I'm over here kind of nerding out with myself a little bit, but with the proper preparation, a lot of stuff can be accomplished, and
Yeah.
it seems like you guys are really putting out some very high quality music, and it's not an accident. It all happens on purpose. You're putting in the time, you're going over your set lists,
True.
you're leaving the
Yeah.
markers, and
It's true. I had Victor wrote a song, Check of Trades, for the Lunoir. And I heard the song at the first time and I thought it would be marvelous if I could play the 2, 3 tracks that are composed. And it took me a lot of hours to practice. But now it's in my fingers. It comes out easily, and that's very nice. And it's the best song I can play, I think.
wow. And I imagine that's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah, it is. I remember the first time I played it without any faults. Yeah,
Yes.
I remember it.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that I think everybody goes back and remembers the time like, oh man, that I got that in my hand.
Yeah,
It's unbelievably rewarding. The effort
yeah,
absolutely pays off.
yeah.
Whatever you're putting in, it's really beautiful. Okay.
It
Cool.
really does.
So my final question, which I ask everybody, is if you were going to give a brand new Gig Performer user some words of wisdom, advice to get started using Gig Performer, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, go find on the internet some free PSDs. Watch a load of Gig Performer tutorials of you, or there are so many videos on YouTube, and there's one I remember, the first steps in Gig Performer, I think it's called, and it helps you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then download the free trial, use it for 2 weeks, every night, every day, and see if it works for you. That's what works for me.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a fantastic approach to it. If you did all of those things, you would know very quickly
Yeah,
if it's the right fit. And we often find users know even faster than 2 weeks. A lot of times, folks really come through and are like, "Oh, this solves the problem."
yeah.
For folks who want to hear your music, um, maybe they're in your region, you guys are in the Netherlands. How do they find out about your shows? And if you don't live in the Netherlands, how do we hear your stuff? How do we have access to your music?
Well, I think we are in almost every streaming platform that's available.
Okay.
Bandcamp, sure. We're on Spotify, well, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we use our Facebook channel, our Instagram channel to let people know that we're going to play. That's my word. And follow us.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us, and you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Facebook and Instagram are the best places. The performance videos you sent me, are those also on YouTube?
No, I don't think so. That's
Okay.
my personal
Okay.
files, our
Okay.
personal files.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those videos are awesome. You should put them on the internet. I was very impressed.
Okay, thank you.
I also think, as is whatever a sidebar, but hearing your music is one experience, and then seeing you guys on the stage doing it really, for me at least, completed the picture where I was like, okay, now I get it. Now I understand what's happening. And there's a real there's the element of performance in what you guys are doing that really drives home the actual intent, I think, of the work. So
Thank you.
if folks are able to see you in person, I'd highly recommend it, or maybe we can find some stuff on the internet at some point. But
Thank you for the compliments.
yeah, absolutely. Eddie, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Great to be here.
Yes. Folks who are watching, we will be back soon. I don't remember when our next one is, but we'll be back very soon with more Backstage with Gig Performer. If you enjoyed listening to Eddie talk and hearing about what he does with La Lune Noire, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about his band, do check out those links. There's also a band helper tutorial in the description, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for being with us, Eddie.
Thank you very much, Brett. See you next time.
See you.